Hello and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator for a slightly different, totally fucking different episode. So as you may notice from the fact that the garage looks totally different and I have completely different stats, this isn't the normal save. This is actually the other save that I have, as I said last time, 122 hours in. And because of that, as you can see, I am level 50. I have 29,000 spare parts and almost 28 million credits. So yeah, this is quite a lot later than the current save. And the main reason I sort of wanted to show off this save was because I've got a lot of cars. So as you can see, I think this was what I was working on before I stopped playing this save, really. So it's a GM LeSabre, General Motors, and it's currently a V8 DOHC, or DOHC, supercharged. God knows whether I was actually anywhere near that. I have an inventory full of fucking parts, so I assume I just finished disassembling it. But yeah, that's a car that's not finished. We've also got my Ford Mustang. Just the base 2005 convertible one. Not very impressive, honestly. Just kind of a car I own in this game for some reason. I will also just quickly... so I have 6 alleys worth of cars. Because of Quality of Life mod, a lot of them can actually spawn in the world, except for these last 5 ones. So there's a Tempest Magnum. I don't really think it's that interesting. It's literally just a supercharged one. It's just like that, but with the... I think it's got a cowl on the front. What is it? Toyota Camry. It's just the race car. It's just sort of like a NASCAR car. It's not that interesting. The Beetle I'll come back to. That Volvo is a rally car. It's got extra lights. That's about it. This one is more interesting because it's a V12. It's actually got 1288 horsepower, HP I almost said. It's actually got a lot of health as well. This, I believe, and I will bring it to the garage so that I can see it. Yes! So this is a Volkswagen Beetle, obviously. But it's based on the eponymous Herbie from the film Herbie, except it's a slightly different version because it's got the Carrera GT modification, which means it's got, 940 horsepower. So this is Herbie after a significant upgrade. This is the supercharged fucking Herbie. And when it says Carrera GT, that means it's got the engine of a Carrera GT in the back of this. It's a bit mad. Anyway, we'll send that bum back into storage. That's to reload everything. So we'll go outside and instantly... Well, A, there's fucking cars everywhere. Secondly, I've got a minivan and a Fiat 500. These, I assume, were cars I was going to work on. I also have this Huna car, which is... I have another one that I will show off, but it's in a bit better condition than this. So the starting point is the DeLoreans. As I did say in the episode where I redid my DeLorean, there is enough DeLoreans to fill an entire alley. So the rest of them are alphabetized per alley, except for the DeLoreans, they're just on the first page. So this one is just the standard one. It's the same one I've got in the other save I've actually got working. This is the painted version. So as you can see, it's got that weird paint effect to it. I don't really like it. It looks wrong. It doesn't look like a DeLorean. This is obviously the gold version, which is... Ooh, lag spike. This save is a little bit laggier. I'm not even getting 60 FPS, which is, interesting. They also all have the proper plates for them. So this is the gold version. This is the one that John DeLorean made to try and... It's like a last-ditch effort to try and keep DMC going. Didn't work. Only 2 of them exist in the real world. But There's my one. And there's this one. I don't know which one. This is the EV one. So this is the electric one. So it's just full of batteries and has a little electric motor, which is a bit different, based on a real car that does exist. Because they did make a few of these electric ones. Then we get to the real DeLoreans, the ones everyone actually knows, of course, with the correct number plates and stuff. So this is the Back to the Future 1 DeLorean with the original reactor on it. It does also, if I hop in, have all of the proper interior stuff. The flux capacitor is behind me. Got the time circuits there, the display for where you're going, where you've been, and where you are. And the speedometer, which does just go up and down. It doesn't actually work with the car's speed, unfortunately. I was a bit sad about that. But, you know, I guess it would be hard to program that. So, whatever. And those are the 3 important dates. Well, 3 of the 4 important dates. So it's the day in 1985, October 26th. October 21st in 2015 from Back to the Future 2. November 12th, 1955, the day they go back to in Back to the Future 1. They are the correct dates. Then we have... No. Wrong one. This was the Back to the Future 2 DeLorean. It doesn't actually say which was which. It just says Time Machine on all of them. So we've got the correct number plate again. And this one has a Mr. Fusion on it. So it can use cans and shit to run. You can really see these lag spikes, can't you? The game wasn't really designed to run this many cars simultaneously. So, you know, give it a break. And this is the laggy car. This is the Back to the Future 3 car. So this is the one where Doc had to replace the wheels because they sort of blew off when the lightning hit it. And this is the replacement microchip for the time circuit. But yeah, I have many DeLoreans. And then this is the carbon fiber one, just the base carbon fiber. So it's a bit funkier. It's solid carbon fiber instead of other one, and it's a fair bit more powerful. It's 829 horsepower. Then going over here, we have the wide body variants. These are... So that's the wide body of the base version, which has 2,500 horsepower. Yeah. And this is the carbon one. Again, 2,502 horsepower. Fucking Discord always interrupts me. Literally, I muted it and it's still fucking doing it. Bastard. So yeah, these are very powerful DeLoreans that have extra wide bodies. Ooh, the lag! It's not coping, Captain! Also, out front, God, it's fucking shitting itself a bit. I think this is why I stopped playing, actually. So we've got this car out front. I can't actually walk to it. It's a Suzuki. I can't really tell what it is. I can't even look at it properly. I literally can't even click on it. How brilliant. We'll do the other one on the other side. Dealing with the lag. And then we've got this lovely little hot rod that I have. I'm quite proud of it. It's a nice one. Then we'll go through the very eponymous ones out front. So this is the Bolt... Fucking hell. This is the Bolt Reptilia, which was, I believe, one of the fastest car, or... Yeah, I think this was... No, it's not. It's one of the DLC cars, but this is like... What DLC does this one come from? I can't actually remember. But this is like one of the in-game companies. But it's quite a nice car. It's pretty powerful. I quite like it. And it looks... You know, it looks nice. I like the kind of... I always like these kind of crenellations and shapingness to a lot of cars. I'm not a fan of the kind of just smooth over it and that's it. A Chevrolet. No, it's not. This is a Bolt Reptilia, of course, because this is all alphabetized, so it would be. Only 1,000 horsepower-ish. This is the... Obviously, this is a Chevrolet C3, but the in-game version, to not infringe copyright. This is the basic van, adventure van. This one is marked as I think I made this save before the quality of life mod allowed you to actually change the version of the car just by stripping it down. But as you could probably tell, this is specifically based on the 18 van. This is the sort of different version because you can't quite do it. So because it's actually set as the adventure van, it's got raised suspension, and I think no, that's bonus parts. Yeah, but it's got raised suspension. I don't actually know what the engine is. 4x4, 959 horsepower. Not bad. Then I have 3 Batmobiles, specifically the Tumbler from the Dark Knight series. So this one is a Speedboard Crasher, which it actually isn't. It's got the body parts of the rich guy version, which is literally what the car is called. That's the component's name. Can I take anything off? I don't think I can. No. Can't take stuff off because it's technically in parking. It shouldn't even be here. Off little thing about this one, it's got a little prison cell in the back. Kind of odd. But these are fucking powerful. So this one actually has less power than the old DeLorean. Still pretty fucking powerful though. But yeah, it's a Batmobile. It's made out of diamond and gold. Who wouldn't want it? This one is designed to be the prototype version. This one's actually got the fucking right engine and stuff. 2,300 horsepower because this one is electric. So it's got a lot of horsepower and it's very fast to accelerate. Also the front like comes off like that, and it's got all the nice sexy interiors that you want. But these are also very, very valuable as well, as these are sort of how you start making a lot of money. Like I think I mentioned it before, but a lot of the modded cars, some of them do get a bit extreme with how much they're worth. These are some of them. These are the ones that really go over the top. This is the poor guy's version, which I think is... Yeah, it's just got a normal V12, but it actually means it's still got 2,700 horsepower. I'm not entirely sure why. Audi R8. Just a car. That's kind of all there is to an Audi. It is a mod one, but yeah, it's just a basic 2010 Audi R8. Aston Martin Vantage specifically, GT12 as well. Fair bit of horsepower. Yeah, just a nice car. I quite like the Vantage. Aston Martin Vantage. It's also got quite a nice interior. I'm quite a fan of like this insert, the sort of chrome and black goes quite well, I think. I can see why James Bond liked this car quite much. Speaking of which, the DB5, Aston Martin DB5. This is the same car James Bond drives, or drove, one of them. I can't actually remember. I'm not a massive fan of James Bond, but I know this car from it because, well, look at it, it looks fucking fantastic. This is like this is probably a classic car. Like, you think of a classic car, this is the one you get. I don't actually know which model this is. This is the Gold Farb. Which I think means, yeah, it's actually got 1,500 horsepower. Yeah, it's pretty good. Still pretty good, you know. Then this is DBR1. Just a speedster, which I don't quite know, but I'm just by the looks of it, obviously, I'm pretty sure a race car. Like one of the old classic ones that would do, well, like the earliest forms of race car, I guess. Is the rear door on this is specifically the hatch for the petrol pump, which I quite like. Is a nice detail, because this is a car mod, obviously, but it means they do some weird things like that. Holy shit, the lag. If I move my camera too fast, spazzes the fuck out. This, this is an example of what happens when a modder has a bit of fun. So this was a Halloween special that a modder did. It's config 12, the Pumpkin Jack. It's only, the standard for some fucking reason in this. Like my collection of cars, everything's have got 1500 horsepower. But this is quite a nice car, but it's, as you can tell, that's literally just the coolant reservoir, and these are all just lots and lots of exhausts, all just plugged into each other. It's got 2 fuel tanks as well, I don't know why. And then out the front, it's literally the same deal. These are all just exhausts. This is all vanilla parts that work quite well to make a sort of more spider-like thing on the front and put this nice orb of power on the back rather than just having it be more basic. So I also put the nice chain steering wheel and spider wheels on. But yeah, I'm quite a fan of that. There's a couple of them that I think he's done. I don't know. I think the other one is installed at the moment. At least one of them is, because I've seen it in the other save file. Woo, that's some lag. And then here we have Dodge Charger. Fairly obviously, it's the General Lee from... Dukes of Hazzard. Fucking hell. That took a while. But yeah, the General Lee 2005 movie, specifically, the actual Dukes of Hazzard. General Lee is actually probably the lowest power car in this fucking collection. And then Echo's Imperator, which I think is based on another Dodge. I think it is, at least. I can't quite remember which is which. Well, assumedly based on the fact that it's called Demon. I assume it's based on a Dodge something. Again, fucking 1800 horsepower. Everything has fuckloads of horsepower in this save. Also, just have a look. Yeah. So, most of these cars tend to be, I think, around like the 100k to sort of 200k. Some of them, Batmobiles excluded, obviously. I think actually the DB5 as well. Yeah, the DB5's worth quite a bit. So, yeah. But this is just another vanilla car that they've used to rip off the real world. Ferrari 250 GT Berlinetta. That's why I had to check it. I knew it was 250 GT. I just cannot pronounce that. Competition. It's 450 horsepower. It's not the best car. However, it's worth almost 6 million. Like I said, bought it for 500 grand. It sells for $600 billion. No, $6 million. I doubt I've spent that much on it. Considering the parts alone are worth 228, the actual body is worth 4 million. So, yeah, but this thing, not the most interesting car. I'm not a particularly big fan of older Ferraris, but it's alright. I quite like this weird little thing. I don't know what it does, but I quite like it. It looks kind of distinct. Jesus H lag. Wow. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of them. I especially wouldn't be paying 6 fucking million for it. Anyway, Ferrari 458. Only 1,000 horsepower. Not the most powerful car, actually. Of course, these are all like custom tuned. These aren't based on they're based on the real values, but they're not the actual values that you're going to get in real world. Yeah, just kind of a standard Ferrari. The only reason I really know this car is because it was, I think, the first hypercar I got a hold of in the Crew 2. So I spent quite a lot of time racing with it. In that game, at least. So it's the car I know because of that. Then, of course, we've got a Ford Crown Victoria, which is, of course, retired police car that I've made not retired. So this does have all the proper bars and stuff on the windows. It's got all this shit going on, and of course the lights. Nice aerial on the back. And it does have, I think, Yeah, it's got them in the back window. I don't know if they've got ones on the front window. They've got the camera. And I'm guessing this one's very highly tuned. Yeah! Little bit more powerful. You do not want to be in a police chase with this fucking police car. This one will not fucking stop. Yeah, and it's only worth 100 grand. Only worth 100 grand. This thing, fucking 1,000 horsepower, 200 grand. This thing, 450, 6 million. The fuck? Honestly. But there you go. Then this one. This is a Ford F-150, right? Yes, F-150 Raptor specifically. Which, this one specific, I think I vaguely remember doing this one. I based it on the car from Top Gear, the Ford 150 Raptor that they used in the Arctic special, back when Top Gear wasn't like whoever the fuck's doing it now, and Chris Evans and all that shit, the actual proper English Top Gear with Jeremy Clarkson. This was from the Arctic special. I think this was at least an attempt to recreate that version that they took to the North Pole, which I'm quite proud of. And it is quite a nice car, and, you know, almost 3,000 horsepower. Nothing to scoff at. For only 100 grand, you know. The Ford Mustang. I think I have two of these. I do, but they're different Mustangs. It's always kind of annoyed me. This is a 1969 Ford Mustang, specifically Mach 1 version. Doesn't actually go Mach 1. Kind of a fucking poor sales pitch, but I just like old Mustangs. They just look good. If I ever spin around like that, it's literally just the lag. The lag caused by all of this. But honestly, yeah, I just like Mustangs. Mustangs and Shelbys I'm quite a fan of. Especially of this kind of, the 60s era. This is the 1966 Ford Mustang, the off-road variant specifically. Spinning 1,200 horsepower, not bad. Not bad, is it? For, you know, a car that's 60-odd years old. This was just sort of a custom design, both of these. I just kind of made a car I would like, based on the parts I had. And we've got a GT40, which is probably one of my favourite sort of sports cars. It's 1965. I absolutely adore this thing. This is honestly one of my favourite, like, sports cars. It's just got such a great look to it. It's like one of those first cars that really looked like a sports car. It was sort of this, the Jaguar E-Type. I think I have a few of those around. But like these were that was like the first sports car. They're like the point in history where things stopped being Model Ts and started being sporty. Anyway, right, onwards to the next bit. Well, it's a Nissan. I can't quite remember. GTR? Maybe? Possibly. Anyway, it's a Ripsan Z530 Nismo edition. This is, again, just like a default car. I just kind of liked it, I think, when I built it. Because, you know, it's a nice little sporty car. And I think at a certain point I did just stop selling cars and just started just hoarding cars because I could. Then this thing, this is a Pusillanimir. I've never actually said that out loud, that's kind of annoying. Curvaceous. So this one, I think, if I remember correctly, this is a workshop mod, obviously. It literally says it right there. But this is a car that was based on a Beam NG car, I believe, that was sort of custom built and had its own, like, little backstory of, like, the year it was built and the company's history and all that stuff. And this was, like, a mod built on a mod, effectively. It's literally not even a real car. It doesn't exist. The sad story idea was that it's sort of, the parts themselves are specifically built to be sort of decrepitated and shit. You can have a lot of engines, that's for something. But it's, yeah, it's not the best car in the world. It's not even worth that much, but honestly, I love the way it looks. I love Oh god, I can't remember what they're fucking called now. I can't even take it off to check, but the slats that go along the back of the car. I'm quite a fan of those on cars. I like these fender overlays that go over the overlays. I guess it is technically the sort of covers that go over the wheels. I always like that on cars. And this spoiler, I'm a really big fan of this spoiler. It's probably a terrible design because wind would just come down and get trapped there rather than being split here. So it probably doesn't actually work as a very good spoiler, but I do like the design. It's very nice. But it's yeah, this is a car I'm quite a big fan of. And I'll probably end up building one in the normal game that we're playing. Then is this is the Plymouth hello? Plymouth Fury. So Christine, I think that is that Thelma and Louise. I don't think this is actually based on that anymore. I think I just kind of took personal liberties with it and kind of just built a car I like. Plymouth Furies are quite nice. Again, worth fuck all, kind of don't work at anything. Generally not great, but you know, they're a nice car. They're kind of nice cruiser style cars, like the Chevy Bel Air as well. That's quite a nice one. I think there's probably one of those around here. Yeah, there. Yeah, quite a fan of that one. And then there's just a fucking Formula 1 car. Open wheel racer, standard. The standard edition is 2339 horsepower. Of course, this thing's absolutely insane on a racetrack. It's 250 grand. But yeah, these things are fucking mental. However, even though it is a car mod, it's a mod, A999 drag racing status though, obviously. But this is like the rarest car I think I've ever heard of in this game. This is like even in my save, the one we're recording on, like, I think I've only seen like maybe a couple of parts for these in barns. I've never seen like the actual chassis or anything to buy, even in like auctions and stuff where there's a list of like a couple of dozen cars. There's still none of these. These cars are exceptionally rare, even in this game, for some fucking reason. Which, I mean, well, for some reason, I guess it makes sense. How many of these even exist in the world compared to, say, you know, a Plymouth Fury? Because it's probably going to be a slightly different number. We'll work backwards from this one. So this... this is the Shelby... what is it? Ford Mustang. Shelby Ford Mustang. But this is the Knight Industries 3000 model, which is, if you're not aware, kit. From the eponymous Knight Rider. This is not the original kit, though. This is the... I think it's like the film or something, but it's the newer one that's in a 2008 model car. But I just liked it. I like that you can build that out of this. I think the Ford Mustang itself is a car mod, so there's obviously quite a few parts. I think there's actually a death race modification set up for it. If I can maybe find the fucking Ford Mustang. Ford Mustang. Yeah, we've got Death Race one, the one from the film Death Race. Dohoy! So then there's this. So this is the Hunicar. Ford Mustang RTR Hunicorn. Hunicar. Anyway, this is the V2 model, the Ken Block Climbhana. I don't really follow Ken Block. I think he died at some point recently. I don't really know. I might have just heard that. I don't know. Anyway, almost 3,000 horsepower on a V8. I should point out. Again, really cheap, but these cars are pretty fucking powerful. This is, again, that's what's currently sat out front as a wreck. But I'm quite a fan of the look. I remember watching Goodwood one year and seeing this because of the hydraulic handbrake. You can do like drifts and stuff in it very easily. And then this is the other one, the V4. The Black Hunicorn versus the World. This is over 3,000 horsepower. And this specific model, this specific one at least, if I remember correctly, the bonnet doesn't open on this. It's like nailed down, it's kind of strange. But, if I remember correctly, I've actually gone through this car and actually upgraded every single part to be a tier 3 part. So, these stars, if you increase them, they make the part slightly better and slightly more valuable. But you need spare parts, that's what goes on in that container there, that's what you do there. I don't think I've actually done that in my game, because I don't really care for it, it kind of just takes time. So, meh. But this one I've actually fully upgraded it with max level parts, just to try and get it as powerful as possible, because this thing is fucking fast. This thing will go, I think maybe 300 miles an hour? Pretty sure it'll do 300. But it's madness, this thing. It's just madness. Anyway, the classic G-Wagon. G-Class. Again, 2,000 fucking horsepower, you know, casually in a very tall SUV that if you turn too quickly, I feel like would probably roll over so fucking fast, you'd be killed. You'd just be killed. You'd be like fucking rolling down the street at 60 miles a fucking hour. But yeah, it's quite an iconic car. Nice to have it. Got that sort of very iconic box feel to it. I think this is a car mod. I was kind of hoping at some point they'd do the 6x6 version, which has Top Gear covered it, of course, but it has like the extension on the back with like a pickup truck setup, and then it has 6 wheels on it. The 6-wheel drive, of course. It's also the car it's the Dubster 6x6 in GTA, if you're familiar with that. But that's what that is. Then we have this, which is Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Hero car. I'm not 100% sure what this is actually from, but I do know it looks utterly fantastic, and I love the split design and the gold chroming. Gold chroming? That makes no fucking sense. The gold plating all around it. It looks absolutely fantastic. And if I'm right, I'm probably not, I believe it's actually a pretty good car, also because it's 300 gold wing doors, which, you know, as a DeLorean enthusiast, that makes me very happy. More cars need gold wing doors. And actually, if I remember correctly, I think it's this one, or it might be like one of it's definitely a Mercedes-Benz, because they're the only fuckers who use gold wing doors anymore, because they're stupid, but they're awesome. It's definitely a Mercedes-Benz where they put explosive bolts into the door connections, so that if the car rolled over, because obviously if you're on the roof, that's not going to work. You'd be trapped in the car upside down. So they put explosive bolts in that when they're turned upside down will literally blow up and separate, so that the door can just come off. Which is an interesting way of solving that problem, but honestly, I'm impressed by their ingenuity to make exploding bolts. Yeah, why not? Right then. Classic El Camino. It's just kind of... It's that classic lowrider, isn't it? I just put a light bar on it, because why the fuck not? Of course, you've got to have it in fluorescent green, because that's the colour everybody loves. If I could have black stripes on it, I probably would have. I don't know if it's got that in the customization liveries, but whatever. I always think of this car, as the one from The Simpsons Hit and Run from level 5, the car that is literally based on this, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's quite an iconic car. So, you know, it's a car that I own. Anyway, Bel Air, everyone's favourite prince. 1985 horsepower, because when this baby hits 1985, you'll see some serious shit. Oh, wait. And 911 horsepower was the default. RIP. Yes. Anyway, this is just kind of my personal design. Black and gold, always work in my books. Gold-plated rims. Some nice modern seats in the front. Nice spoiler on the back. It's just it's a nice car. I've always loved the Bel Air ever since Midnight Club 3, the Rockstar racing game that was on PlayStation 2. But I just love this car. You get it in that really early, and it was kind of like the default car I would drive in that game. So much like the Ferrari 458 in Crew 2. So there you go. This is kind of my tribute to that game, I guess. Buckle Moonhawk. This is just another base game rip-off of something. I literally couldn't tell you. But, you know, I have it here apparently. Probably just part of the, I don't want to sell cars anymore, I'm just going to be some kind of crazy mechanic just doing shit for free. Then, Land Cruiser. Right, no, Jeep Cherokee. Land Cruiser. Ooh, Jeep enthusiast just got very upset. Yeah, it's a proper Jeep. It's the kind of car, and with the snorkeling exhaust, like you could probably drive this through the Welsh Highlands with very little struggle, probably. But yeah, it's it's a proper SUV. It's not like the G-Wagon and all these modern SUVs that it's just clearly designed to be in a city and it can probably barely go off-road. This is the sort of car that you'd actually take to, well, Mud Runner, I guess. If you're playing Mud Runner, this is the car you bring, not like a G-Wagon or something similar. I will get to that side in a bit, don't worry. Lamborghini Gallardo, Purple Edition. That's why it's purple. I don't know why it's the Purple Edition, but it's got almost 1500 horsepower, and it's still only worth 200 grand. Don't know why. I think if I remember correctly, I saw that this was like the Purple Edition, and was just like, yeah, sure, I'll have that. But it means it was like purple inserts, and this guy, who I'm assuming is a reference to something, I don't know. I don't know much shit that's going on in the world right now. So if you tell me, maybe I'll remember it. A Cadillac, just the classic one. Of course, I have to have it in pink, because that's just what colour you need to have a Cadillac. Again, this reminds me more of the Simpsons Hit and Run. Level 3, Level 6, the secret vehicle in the level, the Cadillac crashed into Planet Hype. Which is why this one's pink, because it was just kind of a tribute to that. But also the Cadillac, quite famously, is used in Scarface. It's Tony Montana's car, for which I have my name from. If you've not figured that out, shame on you. And if you thought it was the Hannah, I will fucking find you. And I will kill you. Tony Montana I'm named after. That's why I have to have a Cadillac in my garage somewhere. Right. Maiden. Why did I always think that was Maiden? Weird. M8. Air8. Air8. Air8 my car! The Air Ride. This is actually clearly based on a Cadillac. Cadillac? It's the 300C. What? Is it actually a Cadillac? I can't actually remember. I genuinely can't remember. I think it is, right? Well, either way, the 300C, the car that this is based on, was again a car from Midnight Club 3 that I absolutely adored. It was kind of it's a really nice, just kind of sleek sedan that kind of it stands out as a very plain car, and that's quite an interesting idea. It's not like a Rolls Royce. It's not gonna. You don't see a Rolls Royce and you go, oh, that's a Rolls Royce. You see this and you're like, oh, that's a nice sedan. Which, it's a bit different, but I quite like it. I was a fan of it. Again, going back to the DV5 chat. The Jaguar E-Type. I'm now stuck in the car. God. Fucking lag, it's killing me. Yeah, E-Type. Specifically a version that has a V12 M120 and a 1600 horsepower. Because why not? Fuck it. But yeah, E-Types again were one of my just like favorite classic cars. They're so iconic. It's such a British sports car. They're perfect. And honestly, one of the biggest things this car reminds me of was the tribute that Jeremy Clarkson did on Top Gear for the 50th anniversary of this car, where he goes completely overboard, and honestly, that makes me tear up because this car is amazing and it's absolutely beautiful. So I just obviously had to have one. Anyway, on to my Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels Bone Shaker. The 50th anniversary edition. Thus the 50 Hot Wheels. Because it's not actually got 50 Hot Wheels on it, but it's the 50th anniversary. Anyway, it's a Hot Wheels car. Specifically the Bone Shaker, which is got this rather lovely sculpted skull on the front, which holds its headlights. Which I think is a really nice design. And it has this thing in the back, which I'm assuming is meant to be a nitrous tank. Nitrous oxide, sorry. I imagine if you had that much nitrous oxide in a vehicle, it would probably explode. You know, if it got too sunny, the tank just explodes into flames or something. But, you know, whatever. Interior. Like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? It's awesome, but what the fuck is it? Is that the gear stick? Or is that the gear stick? That's what I want to know. Because, like, from the looks of that base, that's clearly the gear stick, right? And then that's the handbrake. That's a pretty baller handbrake and gear stick combination. Though, probably pretty annoying to use. It's very low power. And it's not even worth 100 grand. Lovely. Honda City Turbo 2 V8. It's got 1762 horsepower. I love this thing. I love how tiny and dinky it is, and just how like comical it looks. And then it's got 1700 horsepower on it. It's just, you know, that just pleases me to see this thing. You see it stuck in traffic, road's clear, fucking 100 miles an hour down the road. Absolutely adore this thing. It's stupid, it's perfect, it even has a little baby Honda bike in the back. What's not to love? Anyway, oh, and we've got this Ferrari here. It's not even a Ferrari, it's actually the Arezzo Cortana, which is obviously the in-game copy of a Ferrari. I can't think of which one though. I tend to get them all mixed up. I'm not the biggest fan of Ferrari. I know it is a Ferrari. Couldn't tell you which one though. But it's pretty good. And I am a fan of the design. Like I said, with that one, I'm quite a fan of these kind of crenellations and vents on it. I like a car to have, you know, shape to it rather than just being slick and boring. Like Lamborghinis often are. You just sort of, it's just kind of like this smoothness to it. It doesn't sit well. It doesn't. I just don't like it. I prefer like lots of vents and shapes and stuff in it. It's probably not great for, you know, actually like being a performance vehicle, but it's fun. It's fun and it looked good. Right, you know what? I want to take one of these. I'm going to take this one out. I think I can do it straight from here. No! I actually have to bring it properly to the garage. Bring it into the garage. Right. We'll take this down to a track and we can show off just how good a DeLorean could be. Fuck, I have to move back outside now. Fucking hell. Right. Drive. Go to the workshop maps and we will go to Avis. Because it's a nice long track that we can get lots of speed on. All the power. Because, you know, this is what happens when a DeLorean enthusiast makes a DeLorean. I have just realised that to get back to the garage is going to take about 5 minutes to load, so that's good. As you can tell, it's got a pretty loud engine. And I really have to start reaching those gears, don't I? Woo, fuck. It is still a DeLorean, so you kind of have to go gentle. I am pressing my trigger as little as I can. Fuck! God. It's got so much power and it's clearly not designed for that much power. Yeah, every time it changes gear, the wheels slip slightly. I don't know what that bang is. The wheel slips slightly every time the car changes gear. I've apparently not even configured the gears to let me go faster than that. Shit! Quick, get back to the garage! Fuck! Anyway, that's why we don't configure gears properly, because you're an idiot. I think I configured them on the carbon version, which was probably the better choice to actually take, because that was the first one I built. I built the other one second. Out of the wide body ones, obviously. The rest of them, they were all built probably before those ones. So, you know, it's different. You now get to see the load times of what happens when you have this many cars, and why, by default, Quality of Life mod only gives you 12 spots, and the highest, like, amount you can store on a lot that I've seen as, like, a publicly pasted script on the Nexus page for it in the comments. There's a guy who's pasted the script for, I think, 30 cars, which is what I based my script on, which is 53? 54? No, 53. It's not actually loaded yet. You've still got to do this bit. Because the Quality of Life mod obviously can't interact with the loading screen, which means it has to do a second set of loading. So you'll slowly see all of the cars just pop in quickly. And while it's very impressive that they've actually managed to get this many cars actually loaded at once, it is quite strenuous on the computer. You've seen the lag, you've seen what happens. And if someone wants it, maybe I'll paste bin the script. It's very simple. You can literally, if you use the Quality of Life mod's debugs options, you can very easily build your own scripts. It takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's not difficult. It doesn't take long. Or it does take a little while, but it doesn't take long to kind of get used to it and actually learn how the coordinates work and how the script is written. It's just like a basic JSON thing, so it's not like actual coding. It's just a little bit of work finding out coordinates and then putting them in, and then reloading the script and realizing it's not fucking worked, and then swearing profusely at a wall for a few minutes. Yes, you can actually see the cars load in at the car wash, and then they get put where they're actually supposed to be. Oh, that's the fucking hell. So if I move you back to parking, you should go back, and then it goes. Yeah, I've left all these fucking doors open. Aren't I a fucking idiot? I will also very quickly take the Huna car out. Because fuck me. I've got to learn how to fucking do this shit. I keep calling it the Huna car, it's the Hunicorn. It just sounds more like it would be Hunicar, because that's what it is. It's not a unicorn. Look at it. It doesn't have a horn. You can't be a unicorn if you don't have a horn to be uni. Ugh, honestly, some fucking people. Avis, because it's the only fucking place I can get this thing up to speed. So, yeah. You should probably hold on to your fucking ass cheeks with this one, because this thing... I think this is the one that kind of goes at fast. Goes at fast. That's the words that you need. So that's 150. 200. And I've run out of gears, apparently. Where have my gears gone? I've been robbed of gears. You can see that this thing is a lot more stable than the DeLorean. It actually got up to speed without trouble, and I can, like, you know, drive without the wheels slipping and squealing. Well, apparently I don't have the gears configured properly. So I can only do about 200. Sucks. Stopping distances. Ooh, fuck. Let's stop button. Fucking hell. Well, yeah, there you go. I'll save you the load back. Yeah, that was just a quick little random, well, quick. I just looked at the time of how long I've been recording. That was just a little look at, well, the other save and what happens after 120 hours of playing the fucking game. Because it gets a bit weird. But this save, I think, the mission I'm currently, well, the story job that I'm on currently in the normal save, I think is about the same time I've stopped doing them on this save. So, yeah. 105 hours-ish. 104 hours-ish, maybe. Difference in time, and very little difference in story missions, apparently. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this random little foray into my interest in cars and what I like. It's just a random thing. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, and goodbye.